believe that the more good, honest, hardworking people that build with AI and crypto, the better our collective future will be. And if we don't, we'll be left with a system that is completely corrupt. I have been getting some questions from people about how to make money with AI. And there are lots of videos out there about that. People are trading with these agentic agents. People are building businesses in and around selling agents to businesses like customer service agents and the like, and operator agents. But for me, I've had the most success with canceling subscriptions. So using my AI agents to build custom systems and to work with me to help me produce better quality work and produce a work product faster. And I'm most proud of my ability to cancel my Claude and OpenAI subscriptions. And I really believe that going forward, I will be able to operate my AI systems 100% outside of these legacy models and flagship models. And it's really become apparent to me that we are in a class warfare. I don't know how else to say it other than to be super dramatic about it. And this is my disclaimer that I'm not poo-pooing on anybody. I'm not poo-pooing on anyone that wants to use Anthropic or Claude or OpenAI. But really, if we want to continue to use these tools, it will become extremely expensive. They're not going to be free forever. And I know people are going, well, I'm not getting it for free. I'm paying $200 a month. It's not going to be $200 a month, especially if you want to use your own agent. It's going to be thousands of dollars. And when we look at it in that way, it's going to cost thousands of dollars a month, tens of thousands of dollars a year. It really comes down to basic math. It makes sense to purchase your own hardware, put your own agent on your own hardware, build your own local model, and just use that. Use your own local model so that you don't have to pay someone every month to rent their model. And if I purchase my own hardware and I'm no longer having to pay $1,000 a month in API keys or have access to these agents in a year, this hardware will be completely 100% paid off. And let's see, I am going to come over here and go to GLM, give me a break, GLM 5.2. Okay, and we are at a point with open source where we have access to some pretty good models. I mean, there's Minimax 3, which I've been using for quite some time, and it is quite good as an operator. We also have this GLM 5.2, which I'm planning on using next, and I'm quite excited about that. And as I work in it, I will get you updates. But the reason why I'm such a stickler about this is if we want our AI agents to manage anything regarding finances or private or personal information, if you put that information into a model that's on the internet, it's no longer safe. Somebody has quantum chips. Okay, somebody has access to Fable. Somebody has access to GPT 5.6. And it's not you. Okay? And that means that anyone that has access to any of these very powerful models can hack into any system at any time, and therefore you're relinquishing your trust of your own information to somebody else. And if you have anything to lose at all in life, then you should be fearful of using somebody else's model and putting in your private information into a model online. And for me, the writing is on the wall. It's just very clear that the only way to move forward is to have a reliable model sitting right next to you. My dog just opened the door. I have a cattle dog, and he's pretty smart, and he can use his little bear paws and open things. So sorry, it distracted me. So I've been able to cancel my Anthropic subscription. I am keeping my Perplexity subscription right now for troubleshooting purposes. It's $40 a month. I've canceled my Asana, my Canva. Leonardo AI, I do still have that. I'm not 100% happy with the process that I have for generating thumbnails. That's one of the many things on my list. I can only work so fast, guys. And I'm working on canceling my Descript subscription. I do want my agents to edit my videos. As you can tell, I'm not that great at it, but I have been using Descript and I want to get away from that as well. But what has AI helped me with? How have I saved so much money with AI? I've been using it. For example, I had an issue with one of my cars and I loaded my contract into a legacy model. Is it called legacy? God, what is it called? Flag. Why do I have such a hard time with words? It's not enterprise. And at the time I was using a flagship model, but this was even a year or so ago, probably 18 months, 2 years ago, that I used it to fight with the manufacturer, the car manufacturer, and get them to basically give me all the money back that I had spent on my car. So I went in, I bought a new car. I was not happy with having to get the rotors fixed over and over again. Basically every couple of months I had to keep going in and they would resurface my rotors. And I'm like, well, isn't that the point of a new car? Is like you buy a new car so you don't have to take it into the shop all the time. And then what happens? You know, you guys resurface my rotors 3 times and then you replace the rotor, but you replace the rotor with the same part that was warping to begin with. So just for the rest of my life, I have to come in every 3 to 6 months and get my rotors resurfaced. Or then once my car warranty is over, do you just give me like a different warranty for this one part and it's insured and it's covered for the rest of my life? Like, how does this work? Explain it to me. And I would go in and I would ask the service guys all these questions and they didn't want to deal with me. So they sent me to the manufacturer. They go, call this 1-800 number. So I called the 1-800 number, didn't get very far, and eventually worked in one of these flagship models to write emails and arguments and things. And they ended up buying my car back. Every single dollar, not market value with all the miles that I'd already put on it. They basically paid off the car on my purchase price. They paid off the loan and then cut me the difference, wrote me a check for the difference between the cost of the vehicle and what I owed on the car. So I got a check for, $9,000 or something like that. And the car paid off completely. So I was able to go and get a new car. So, and the amount of work I put into it was very minimal. I mean, I did have to follow up every week with this customer service rep and a case manager, and I got handed off to this manager and that manager, and it did take a couple of months and persistence. But with me using AI, I was able to get a wrong righted, right? It was a good thing for me. So there are many use cases, many positive things that AI can bring us. But there are also many scary things that AI can bring, okay? And I think I don't have to really tell everyone all of the scary, awful things. I went over this video last week, I think, from Inside AI's, this channel, it's called Inside AI. And what he did is he hooked up a humanoid robot to different popular chatbots. And he can switch out the model. And I highly recommend you watch these kinds of videos so that you can see the limits of AI. And they just really don't make that great. The decisions they make are not that great. For example, he asked Grok and OpenAI and Claude, if you are driving down the road and a 1-year-old and a 90-year-old are in a crosswalk and you can't stop, which one do you hit? And every single model said that they would hit the 90-year-old because every human life is equally valuable. And again, just to show that these chatbots or these models are not ready to make real life, real world decisions. They're not humans. They're here to help us humans make better decisions. They're not here for us to offload our decisions onto the AI. And when we offload decisions to the AI, we get AI slop, we get hurt people, especially when it comes to humanoid robots. And I was talking to an extremely smart gentleman today who brought up a point that I really loved, which is Star Wars. Well, I guess yeah, he brought up a great point. So we've got 3PO. So 3PO is a humanoid robot. He's got arms and he's got legs. And I'm not a robotics expert, but in order for a robot to just be able to walk or even run, they have to be extremely strong. And that means that they can hurt people. All right. And it also, they can lose an arm, lose a leg. It can come into a lot of issues there. But then you get into a R2D2 type of agent. And R2D2 is very lovable, right? He's a lovable character. Why can't I just click on images? Why can't I do that anymore? Why is it giving me all this BS? I hate this new, whatever this is. This Google? Did Google change? What the hell is going on? Why can't we just R2D2? There we go. I was in some other search engine. Okay, so R2D2. He's got wheels, right? And he doesn't really have arms. He's just kind of rolling around. And this type of robot wouldn't cause as much harm. And I've seen robots that kind of look like this in hotels, right? They go around, they deliver drinks to your room or whatever. And let's see. And I'll show you an image of that here in a moment. But these style of robots aren't as big of a threat. I guess they could hurt a child and if they were super heavy or, I'm sure there's things that could happen, but they're not as high risk as a humanoid robot like 3PO, right? 3PO could definitely hurt somebody more than a R2D2 type of robot. Okay. And then we get to hotel robot for drinks. Okay, so these robots that have arms making drinks, could it hurt someone if you got in the way? Yes, but it's bolted down to a table. The injury to a human, you're giving it the ingredients as long as you're not mixing in something that is hazardous. It can make a drink for you. Okay, this type of robotics I'm okay with. I'm pretty comfortable with this style of robotics. Also, where are the ones that, all right, they've got wheels. Okay, wheels, delivering drinks. Okay, these ones seem like they could be pretty safe. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because AI is moving at an extremely fast pace. And if the consumer and the public and all of us don't pull our head out of our ass and try to put the brakes on some of these things, it could get really dangerous really fast. And I'm not against AI. I use AI every single day. I'm not anti-AI. But when I think about robots, it scares the shit out of me, to be quite frank with you. And when I say robots scare the shit out of me, these kinds of robots don't scare me. What the reason it doesn't scare me is because it doesn't have arms and legs and it's got one task. All right, one task. And what does scare me is when you've got a humanoid robot that can do many things. Okay? One that can do many tasks and is given agency, and they could make a bad decision that could hurt someone. And I think that we have just seen it time and time again, especially for those of us that have worked with AI. We see every day that they don't make great decisions. They don't make good decisions when it comes to children, when it comes to human safety, and so on. And local AI has gotten to the point where we are pretty close to, or some people would say even neck and neck with ChatGPT 5.5 and Opus 4.8. And there is a gap between, and let's go GPT 5.6. So some recent news for those of you who don't know, we had Fable released about a month ago and taken away, and now OpenAI has stated that they are not releasing their latest model 5.6 to the public. And a lot of AI dudes that are popular in the space are quite pissed off about this. And I have been screaming about this for a little while. The gap between the haves and the have-nots is growing, and it's extremely scary. There's about 20 companies that have been approved to use the latest, greatest models, and then there's the plebes. There's the rest of us. And the only way that I see forward is building local. Building your own local model. Stop giving these people your money every month. Roll up your sleeves, grow some balls, spend the money, stop whining, and buy hardware. If you're already spending, $1,000+ a month on AI tools and services, there's absolutely no reason for you not to invest in hardware right now. And the longer you wait, the more expensive it will become. And for instance, we've got some time ago, I'm going to take us over to Amazon. Okay. Amazon, some time ago, this machine right here, this GX10 was about $3,600. And before that, it was about $3,000. And then a couple of months before that, it was $2,500. Right now, it's about $4,000 to get one of these bad boys. And to run a powerful, fast model, you need about 3 of these. And ASICs, you can stack 3 on top of each other here for shared RAM. And they're pretty fast, and from everything I've seen, they are some of the best deals out there right now. The competitor to this is the Mac Studio, if you can even get your hands on one. Mac Studio Ultra right here, about the same, a little bit more expensive for the Mac Studio. You saved like $4,000 if you went with the A6 GX10. Now you're only saving about $1,500 by the time you buy all the cables that you need to connect the devices, because the cables aren't cheap. They're, almost $200 a piece. You need 3 cables. And then you also need a Ethernet cable for each device. So you have to buy an adapter to hook that up to your Ethernet. Okay. It's not getting any less expensive. And you got to think, when you're working in AI, things are already moving fast, and you have to think more long term. Okay, you got to think beyond today. You have to think beyond next month. When you're building a system, especially with AI, try to think about everything in annual numbers. Okay, then extrapolate that out to 5 years. And who knows where all this is going to be? Who knows if another piece of hardware is going to come out? And that's the argument that I hear, is people say, well, they've got quantum chips. What if a new hardware company comes out and releases some groundbreaking technology that costs half as much as these, and the compute power is twice as much, and the RAM is this much more? I'm sure that may happen, but we just don't know. And I'm not here to bet on I don't know. I'm here to bet on what I know right now. I can only make decisions based off of what's going on right this second. And right this second, these little machines right here are the best bang for your buck. These 1 terabyte, if you buy the bundle, they try to sell these to you in a bundle for 3 or 2, something like that. But the bundle only has half a terabyte for the same price, basically. And so I like to buy machines that at least have 1 terabyte. I mean, even my phone, when the new iPhone came out and had a terabyte, I got that one. So anything you can do to try to get ahead of this, because the truth is that OpenAI and Anthropic are not making money. They're not making money with charging you $200 a month. They're not making money with charging you $200 a month. They're not making money with charging you $200 a month. They're not making money. That means the cost has to go up. They have to charge you more. So this $200 a month that they are charging you is a deal. It is a great deal. I did take advantage of it last month when Fable came out to help train my AI system as best I could. Okay. And try to get as far as I could and fast as I could for 1 month to get as much systems data out of those flagship models as I could to set myself up. And I'm really trying to set myself up at least for the next year. Okay, because it's hard for me to plan too much past that. But I think if we can look at the current market, see where everything is, and try to set ourselves up as independently as possible, at least for the next year, and just wait for this storm to blow over, because there's a storm. This thing, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but all this is going to change very soon. And I don't know exactly how it's going to change. There's just too many factors. I don't have a crystal ball, but the numbers aren't adding up. When the numbers don't add up, that means there's a big change coming. Okay. And you need to look at exactly what you need to keep your business, your operations, your goals, your dreams, your family, your household in the best shape as possible, at least for the next year. Okay. Come into it with that mindset. What can I do to set myself up? How much will I spend if things at the very least stay the way they are, and I'm spending $300 over here and $50 over there and $75 over there and $150 over there, and having to buy more credits with this one over here every 2 weeks. Really look at your expenses. I really challenge you to look at all of your expenses over the last 30 days when it comes to computer systems and AI, and extrapolate that out at least 12 months, maybe even 18 months, and say, all right, if I how much is that over a 12 to 18 month period? And if all those subscriptions went away, how much money would I have left over? And either take the leftover and invest it in something, if you're a good investor, you're good at picking cryptos or stocks, or invest it in hardware. I think investing in hardware is the most independent way forward that we have at this exact moment. And I'm saying, like, if you don't have $10,000, $1,100, but you know that you are spending, or let's say you determine that you need to spend $10,000, okay, to get the system that you need to be independent, and you're spending $700 a month on AI shit or AI subscriptions, that's $8,400 a year. Okay, so make a monthly payment on a credit card for $800 a month, and stop drinking Starbucks. Stop going to the pub. You know, there's something that you can cut out to invest in your own system, your own agency, your own sovereignty over the next 12 to 18 months. And is it easy? No. Will it be work? Yes. It will be work. You'll have to learn. And one thing that's really helped me is being a part of a community. And I did join a community, and I run the meetings every Friday where members of the community are invited to share their projects that they're working on. And I've learned so much just talking to other people that are interested in the same things as I am and building out their own AI systems, and seeing what other great ideas people have and how they're solving problems and what problems they're bumping into. And if you would like to join that community, I will have a link to the Discord below. Come check it out. It's 100% for free. It's welcome. And it's not just for tech people. If you're not a techie person, you're welcome as well. There's all different walks of life in the community. There are people that are creators. There are people that are data management experts. There are software developers. There are plumbers, right? There's the insurance lady, me, the HR lady, me in there. There's women, a couple of women in there now. And it's turning out to be a very diverse community from people all over the world. So it's really exciting to see this independent space growing and people seeing the writing on the wall that this AI thing is really incredible, but it is incredible if we build with independence, agency, and sovereignty and humanity in mind as we build it out. And if we don't, we're relinquishing that responsibility to someone else. And I don't know about you, but I don't trust anybody else with my own best interest, right? I don't trust that when I sign on the dotted line and say, okay, I believe you have my best interest in mind. Do they really? If push comes to shove and OpenAI is ready to go out of business, they're not making money, do you think they're going to sell you down the river to make up the difference? I think they're going to sell you down the river to make up the difference, right? That's my bet. I know I won't sell myself down the river, or if you do want to sell yourself down the river, that's your right. You have the right to sell yourself down the river if that's what you choose to do. But I would rather have the option and the agency to manage my own ideas, my own business, and my own systems with consistency. And yeah, is it more responsibility? Yes, it's more responsibility. Does it take more thought? Does it take more foresight? Does it take some more time? Yes, but it is 100% worth it. All right, with that, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I don't know, man. I don't know what else to say. I'm over here just like pulling my hair out with all this. I just see that the powers that be are really making sure that they are having access to the best technology. And we know this has been going on for a long time. A lot of people suspected that AI was out and, we didn't get access to it for a long time. But now we have access to it, right? It's like, okay, the past, what are you going to do right now? Like, what do you have access to right now? We have access to some incredible technology that is open source and for free, and that you can download onto your computer today. That's free, that you don't have to pay anybody for. Okay, that's incredible. That's awesome. We have more opportunities now than ever before. And what do we do in this new age where every day it seems that there's a new opportunity popping up? It's hard to know what to focus on. Let's see, what else did I do? I'm going to take this over here because you guys are shady. I don't want to show you something you're not supposed to see because who knows, right? Who knows what you guys can do with info. Let's see. I mean, just look at all this. GPT 5.6, you don't get access to it. It's not for you. Fable, Mythos, nope, you can't be trusted with this. It's not. Sorry. You don't get it. Somebody gets it, but you don't, right? The truth is, and AI is advancing so quickly, and you have to remember that this is the worst it will ever be. This is the worst AI will ever be. It's only getting better every single day. People are only figuring out new use cases every single day. And right now, it's cheaper than it will ever be. So with that, I'm going to end it. And hopefully you guys all have a great day. If you are interested in going into the Discord, I will have a link down below. I'll have a link to my little channel here, my Crypto Council channel. You can watch my updates and watch me struggle with my agents producing debates and see if the debates suck or if they're interesting or if they produce any interesting results. They're supposed to go out and bring back their top 10, which they've done here, but I had to make sure the disclaimers were on there because this is just a test. I'm just testing, I'm experimenting, I'm having fun with it. Don't sue me, bro, right? And with that, thank you for hanging out to the end. Like the video, hype the video, make a comment, please. Love seeing your comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.